Hello and welcome to Express News. In the next half an hour, we'll get you all the latest news and updates. My name is Abhishek Mahajan. We'll start with the top story. The United Nations Security Council came down heavily on Pakistan at a closed-door consultation over tensions with India. The members grilled Islamabad over Pakistan-based terror group Lashkar-e-Taiba's involvement in last month's Pahalgam attack. Pakistan's attempts to internationalize the situation failed, with the members of the global security body flagging Pakistan's nuclear rhetoric as an escalatory factor. They also expressed concern over Pakistan's recent missile tests. The UNSC members refused to accept Pakistan's false flag narrative. The members advised Islamabad to sort out the issues bilaterally with New Delhi. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has said he understands the feelings following the awful terror attack in Pahalgam and reiterated his strong condemnation of that attack. Speaking on the recent terrorist attack in India, Speaker of the US House of Representatives Mike Johnson expressed support for India in his remarks at the congressional briefing at the Capitol Hill on Monday. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi met National Security Advisor Ajit Doval Tuesday morning amid heightened tensions with Pakistan after the Pahalgam terror attack. This is the second time the Prime Minister has been briefed by the NSA in the past 48 hours, and it comes a day before state governments will conduct mock security drills. Pakistan Army again resorted to unprovoked small arms firing from posts across the line of control near Jammu and Kashmir. Indian Army responded in a proportionate manner. Union Home Secretary Govind Mohan held a meeting regarding civil defence with the Chief Secretaries and heads of civil defence from across the country. Preparations for civil defence are being made in 244 districts of the country. A cache of terrorist hardware was recovered from the forested area near Tibba Nangal Kular Road in Punjab. In the joint operation with the Central Agency, Punjab Special Operations Cell recovered 2 rocket-propelled grenades, 2 IEDs and a wireless communication set. Preliminary probe indicates a coordinated operation by Pakistan's ISI and allied terror outfits to revive sleeper cells in Punjab. An FIR under relevant provisions of law has been registered. Addressing the gathering at the launch of Global Access to Talent from India, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said that India needs to pay attention to opportunities beyond borders. Speaking on the Global Access for Indian Talent, EM Jaishankar said that several major countries around the world have expressed an appetite for the skilled workforce of India. Chairing a comprehensive review of the Department of Science and Technology in New Delhi on Monday, Union Minister Jitendra Singh underscored the importance of building an indigenous India AI open stack architecture embedded with science and engineering models tailored for Indian researchers. The minister also called for new and bold directions in science-driven growth, including AI-led innovations, deep tech startups and enhanced infrastructure sharing. Speaking at the inauguration ceremony of Bharat Telecom 2025 in New Delhi today, Union Minister for Communications Jyotiraditya Scindia said that smartphones are no longer merely a means of communication but have become tools of empowerment and gateways to the world of information. The minister also mentioned that India has emerged as the second largest telecom market in the world. He noted that the country has reached 1.2 billion mobile users. Communications Minister further highlighted that the number of broadband users has surged from 60 million users a decade ago to over 950 million today. He also noted that internet users have increased from 250 million to 970 million. 2 passengers were dead and 25 injured in a bus accident in Ghani Mendhar in Poonch district of Jammu and Kashmir. Injured have been rescued and evacuated to sub-district hospital in the region. A report by the New York Times said that India's wind and solar capacity has nearly doubled in the past 5 years, making it the world's third largest generator of electricity from renewable sources. Indian equity indices ended on a negative note on Tuesday. At the close, the Sensex was down by 155.77 points at 80,641.07. The Nifty ended down by 81.55 points at 24,379.60. Indian rupee ended 19 paise lower at 84.43 per dollar on Tuesday against Monday's close of 84.24. Gold futures maturing on June 5 were priced at Rs 96,430 per 10 grams on the MCX. Micro, small and medium enterprises sector in India presents a significant lending opportunity due to a credit gap of approximately Rs 28 lakh crore according to a report. China's services activity expanded at the slowest pace in 7 months in April, with new orders growth slackening from March, a private sector survey showed on Tuesday. ChatGPT maker OpenAI will remain under the control of its founding non-profit board after abandoning a plan to split off its commercial operations as a for-profit company. Dutch healthcare technology company Philips has cut its profit margin forecast for 2025, citing a net impact from US tariffs of between 250 and 300 million euros. Ford Motors has suspended its annual guidance because of uncertainty around Trump's tariffs, saying the levies would cost the company about $1.5 billion in adjusted earnings before interest and taxes. US meal delivery firm Doordarshan will buy British rival Deliveroo for $3.85 billion, the company said on Tuesday, as they look to expand their reach and take on competition. In an unexpected setback, German Conservative leader Friedrich Merz failed to reach a majority in the first parliamentary vote on Tuesday. Merz needed 316 votes to secure a majority, but won the backing of only 310 MPs in the first round. The lower house of the German parliament, called Bundestag, now has 14 days to elect Merz or another candidate chancellor with an outright majority. Merz's Conservative Party had formed a new coalition with the Social Democrats. Russian officials announced that their air defense unit destroyed a swarm of Ukrainian drones targeting Moscow for the second night in a row, prompting the closure of the capital's airports. The Russian defense officials said that they have captured the settlement of Shivka in Ukraine's eastern Donetsk region. The European Commission will next month propose to ban new Russian gas deals by the end of the year and ban imports under existing contracts by 2027 end, as per the draft European Commission document. The Israeli military said it carried out airstrikes against Yemen's Hodeidah port on Monday, a day after the Iran-aligned Houthis fired a missile that struck near Israel's main airport. The strikes killed at least one person and injured at least 35. A senior Hamas official said on Tuesday that the group was no longer interested in truce talks with Israel. Rather, the world must pressure the government of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to end the conflict in Gaza. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu arrived at the Tel Aviv District Court on Tuesday to testify in his corruption trial. Netanyahu was indicted in 2019 on charges of bribery, fraud and breach of trust, all of which Netanyahu denies. The Trump administration has announced that Harvard University will be barred from receiving any new federal research grants until it complies with a set of demands laid out by the White House. US President signed an executive order that aims to reduce the time it takes to approve pharmaceutical plants in the country as part of new regulations to encourage domestic manufacturing. Several cardinals were seen walking towards the Vatican on Tuesday to attend a general congregation meeting on the final day before the start of the conclave. The secretive assembly will begin on Wednesday in the Sistine Chapel, where only about 133 cardinals who are under the age of 80 will be allowed to enter to vote for the next leader of the 1.4 billion strong Catholic Church. Romania's Liberal Interior Minister Cătălin Predeu became interim premier on Tuesday. The presidency announced the day after the Prime Minister's resignation deepened political tumult in the EU nation. Britain's GCHQ spy agency released documents revealing its role in sharing the news of the imminent end of World War II in Europe, a piece of information that its staff, among the first to know, kept secret until the official announcement. The documents were published on Tuesday as part of a series of nationwide events in Britain commemorating the 80th anniversary of Victory in Europe Day, which marks the date that the unconditional surrender of Nazi Germany took effect in 1945. The winners of the 2025 Pulitzer Prizes, the most prestigious awards in American journalism, were announced on Monday. Reuters won the Investigative Reporting Prize for a series of stories that penetrated the international trade in the chemicals used to make fentanyl. Other winners included the New York Times, which won 4 Pulitzers, and New Yorker magazine, which won 3, largely in recognition of their coverage of overseas wars. Colombian authorities said Monday they had captured more than 200 members of the country's biggest drug cartel, which is accused of murdering 24 security force members in the past month. Cochabamba city in Bolivia is struggling with piles of uncollected garbage as the region enters its second consecutive week of conflict over waste disposal. Alright, we are slipping into a very short break. On the other side, more stories. Keep watching Express News.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenge.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Some more stories. Colombia's Itagüe municipality experienced several floods. In fact, severe floods triggered by heavy rains in the Abura Valley. One person died and dozens of homes were destroyed. An Omega block pattern over the United States is expected to bring prolonged rounds of thunderstorms and showers, posing a flooding threat across U.S. The southern plains and northeast U.S. will continue to receive extensive showers and hefty thunderstorms, with flooding events expected in the mid-south as storms intensify on Tuesday. 10 people died across India's Andhra Pradesh due to untimely heavy rainfall accompanied by strong winds and thunderstorms. Andhra Pradesh's Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu directed officials to release ex gratia to the families of the deceased and expedite compensation to affected farmers by Tuesday evening. India Met Department has issued advisory for continued rain and thunder showers in Andhra Pradesh till May 7 with an orange alert for Telangana. IMD has issued a yellow alert in Delhi for thunderstorm accompanied with lightning and strong surface winds for Tuesday. Amid ongoing heat wave, hot and humid weather is likely to prevail over Gangetic, West Bengal and Orissa, while Gujarat received an advisory for heavy rainfall. Rainy weather to prevail over parts of northeast India, specifically in Assam, Meghalaya and Arunachal Pradesh over the next 7 days. Amid continuous rains in Himachal Pradesh, IMD has predicted heavy rain, hailstorms and thunderstorms across the state for the next 3 days. Cannons echo through Mexico City on Monday as residents reenacted the Mexican Army's victory over the French 163 years ago, popularly known as the Battle of Puebla. Mexicans marked the 94th edition of the tradition with people lining the streets to watch participants dressed in period costumes recreate the battle and fire cannons. New York's Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costume Institute has unveiled its new exhibit, Superfine Tailoring Black Style. The space showcases the cultural and historical examination of black style over 300 years through the concept of dandyism, using an essay from Zora Neale Hurston as inspiration. Formula One fans were treated to an usual sight ahead of the Miami Grand Prix on Sunday as lifelike replica cars made of Lego took to the circuit ahead of the race. The cars were created by a team of 26 designers, engineers and Lego builders based at the Lego Group's Kladno factory in the Czech Republic. General Motors' own Cadillac has unveiled its team logo ahead of its entry as the 11th team in the 2026 F1 season. A group of Venezuelan biologists and veterinarians are raising hatchlings of the endangered Orinoco crocodile and releasing them into the wild in a bid to prevent its extinction. Fewer than 100 adult Orinoco crocodiles remain in the wild in Venezuela, according to estimates. The animal's natural habitat is in the Orinoco River basin, which covers most of the Venezuela and spills over into Colombia. In a tribute to the late Pope Francis, Rio's Christ the Redeemer displayed a photo of the pontiff. A Chewing Chow resident and a female ice climber have emerged victorious at an annual bun scrambling competition on the outlying island in Hong Kong. The competition involves scaling a 14-meter tower covered with 9,000 plastic buns, with points being earned based on how high up the buns on the structure. Saplings grown from seeds that survived the atomic bombing in Hiroshima have been planted at the United Nations headquarters. T. Narmandak, a Mongolian calligraphy artist and cultural heritage bearer, is holding her first solo exhibition at the Ulaanbaatar Public Library, featuring around 30 works created on silk, crepe paper and papyrus. Andrew Liveris, chief of the Brisbane 2032 Olympics, has welcomed the appointment of former show jumper Mikhaila Kojuanko-Jaworski as the new chair of the Games Coordination Commission. The biggest event in Hollywood, Met Gala 2025, lit up New York City on Monday. The event was graced upon by various artists across different industries wearing extravagant outfits. Barbadian singer Rihanna stole the limelight of the event as she announced her third pregnancy. The artist wore a stunning grey two-piece skirt set paired with matching knee-high socks and sleek grey heels. American singer Madonna returned to the Met Gala after 7 long years. She wore an all-white tuxedo by Heather Ackerman, complemented with a cigar. Bollywood actor Shah Rukh Khan made his debut in Met Gala event on Monday. The actor wore an all-black ensemble dress by Indian designer Sabyasachi. Indian singer and rapper Diljit Dosanjh also made his debut in the star-studded event. Diljit wore a traditional attire flaunting his Punjabi culture at the global stage. Rapper and singer Bad Bunny has announced the schedule of his upcoming global tour starting from November in the Dominican Republic. The artist will visit 23 cities including Japan, Brazil and France. The tour will officially wrap in Belgium on July 22nd next year. Lyricist Javed Akhtar unveiled India's first artist-owned music platform, Gungunalo, on Monday. More than 30 artists from the music industry participated in the launch event. Actor Sunil Shetty's upcoming film Kesari Veer has been postponed from its original release date, May 16. The film will now release in theatres on May 23rd. Malayalam actor Mohanlal hit run continues as his latest release, Thodaram, has crossed more than rupees 160 crore. The film is all set to emerge as a huge blockbuster at the box office. Sunrisers Hyderabad's IPL playoff hopes ended after the match against Delhi Capitals was abandoned due to heavy rain at the Rajiv Gandhi Stadium on Monday. With a playoff spot in sight, both Mumbai Indians and Gujarat Titans will clash in the 56th match of the IPL on Tuesday. South African fast bowler Kagiso Rabada will be available for selection for Gujarat Titans Indian Premier League 2025 fixture against Mumbai Indians on Tuesday. The third day of Khelo India Youth Games in Bihar is in progress with competitions across several sports underway. Karnataka is currently leading the medals tally. India will be eager to bounce back from its loss against Sri Lanka and confirm its spot in the final when it faces a struggling South African side in the Women's Tri-Series in Colombo on Wednesday. Former world number 1 Kidambi Srikanth along with Anmol Kharab and Unnati Huda will lead India's charge at the Taipei Open badminton tournament, which starts with qualifiers on Tuesday. India's top-ranked women archers Jyoti Venom and Deepika Kumari will lead the country challenge at the Stage 2 of the 2025 Archery World Cup in Shanghai. Tech Mahindra has partnered with Fable to launch the Mindmaster Book Club inspired by Grandmaster Vishwanathan Anand's best-selling book. The club will offer a curated reading experience for chess fans worldwide. Zhao Xingtong became the first Chinese player to win the World Snooker Championship with a victory over Mark Williams at the Crucible Theatre on Monday. Top-ranked tennis player Yannick Sinner was treated to a stadium filled with nearly 5,000 fans for his first practice session at the Italian Open on Monday. In the latest ATP rankings, Jack Draper jumped to the 5th spot, replacing 24-time major winner Novak Djokovic after his run at last week's Madrid Open, where he lost to Casper Ruud in the finals. Norway's Casper Ruud jumped 8 spots to return to top 10 courtesy his maiden Masters title in Madrid. Barcelona manager Hansi Flick confirmed that striker Robert Lewandowski has been declared fit to return from his hamstring injury but is set to start on the bench in the Champions League semi-final second leg at Inter Milan on Tuesday. AC Milan secured a 2-1 victory over Genoa in the Serie A clash. The rapid second half turnaround was driven by Rafael Leo's equalizer and an own goal from Morten Frendrup. Former Argentina defender Luis Galvan, a member of the team that won the 1978 World Cup, passed away on Monday at the age of 77. Well, that's all we have in this edition of Express News. You stay tuned for more news and updates. Namaskar.